Hi friends, let us continue with the concept. So what we discussed till now is about marine ecosystems and different zones in the marine ecosystem. Now let us see about the biodiversity. I mean the flora and fauna, what you can observe in different zones of this marine ecosystem. Right now let us start. Now nectons. Now what are nectons? Now the nectons are the topmost predators or consumers which live on the prey of the other organisms in the food chain. Topmost predators in most of marine food chains. Marine food chains. Now we will discuss these food chains in energy concept in detail. Right now, most of your nectons are vertebrates. Right now, example. Let us see the examples. Reptiles, mammals, some large fishes, now mollusks, next one is crustaceans. Crustaceans, these are different types of nectons. Now the next one is plankton. Right now, what are planktons? Now planktons are mainly microscopic inhabitants of pelagic environment. Now I'll sum up this here. They are mostly microscopic inhabitants of pelagic environment, or you can speak it as pelagic zone. Now what is the main characteristics of this plankton? They provide nutrition to nectons. They provide nutrition or nutrients, you can speak it as nutrition, right, to nectons. Means nectons prey on planktons. Right, got the point? Now some examples of this: fish, squids, etc. Some sponges. Right, then the next one is benthos. Now the term itself says the lowest part of the ocean. Right now benthos are abundant in the surface. Abundant, sorry the spelling is wrong. Abundant in surface sediments. In surface sediments of continental shelves. Of continental shelves. Got Got the point? Now, they mostly observe in deeper waters. The main characteristics that you can easily see, right? Now, these are the biodiversity terms what you use in marine ecosystem, right? Now, let us move into the next concept, most important one, which is productivity. Now, what you generally feel it as you feel it as the reproductive capability of the flora and fauna of the ecosystem, but that is not the case here. That is why in 2015 there was a question on this, the exact definition of this, what is productivity, right? Now, it refers to the rate of formation of energy and matters which is stored in different species of different trophic levels, right? It refers to the rate of formation of energy, right, and matters which is stored in different species of different trophic levels. Done. Now, this is the exact definition, and this productivity are of two types, right? One is primary productivity, and the second one is secondary productivity. Right, secondary PR productivity. Right, now, what is the exact definition of primary productivity? That you have to know. This is also a previous question asked in your service commission examination. Now, it refers to the rate at which chemical energy is produced from solar energy. It refers to the rate at which chemical energy is formed or produced from solar energy. Right, now, how this PP, primary productivity, is measured? Now, it is measured in dry weight. Now, in energy of pyramids and biomass, you call it as biomass dry weight, right? Now, which can be weighed by gram, calories per unit area per unit time. Now, this is also your previous question, how it was measured, right? You are given with 4 options, you have to choose one, which is gram calories per unit area per unit time. Now for example, I'll give an example, right? For the whole earth, what is net pp, primary PR productivity, right? For the whole earth, what is net primary productivity, which is nothing but 320 dry gram calories per meter square per year, right? Done. Now see here, you have to specifically say here dry gram calories. Done. Now in different types of ecosystems you can find out different types of pp, primary productivity, right? So the least primary productivity is observed in deserts, which is less than 2, right? Now the highest primary productivity is observed in, right, coral reefs, estuaries, springs, right, alluvial plains, Now, what will be the primary productivity there? 4200 dry gram calories per meter square per year, right? Now let us see the next one. You have seen about primary productivity. Now let us see about secondary productivity. Now what is this exact definition? Now you have to know the difference between them and also the exact definition. Now it refers to the rate at which energy is stored at different levels in consumers, right? It refers to the, now this is the difference between primary and secondary, right? Secondary is nothing but rate at which energy is stored, at different levels, right, in consumers. Now this levels is nothing but trophs, right? Trophic levels. Now let us see two more terms that are very important. Now the first one is gross primary productivity. Gross primary productivity. Now what is this GPP? The exact definition. Observe this. Now this is nothing but the total amount of organic matter that it produces through photosynthesis is called GPP, right? See here, you have to focus on definitions. Now, these are very important, right? Total amount of organic matter that it produces produces through photosynthesis is called GPP. Through photosynthesis. Got the point? Yes. I'm repeat it again and again, right? Now you have to be very strong in the things. Now the next one is gross primary productivity is over. Now the next one is net primary productivity. Net primary productivity. Now what you say about this? Now this describes the amount of energy that remains available for plant growth after subtracting the fraction that plants use for respiration, right? Now observe here, I'll write the definition, summarize this. Now this describes the amount of energy that remains available for plant growth, right, after subtracting the fraction that plants use for respiration. Now, this is very important, right? Now what is NPP, net primary productivity, right? Now it is nothing but GPP minus fraction used for respiration. Right. Now these points are very important. Focus on this, right? Now let us move into the next concept called functions of ecosystem, right? Now functions of ecosystem, what functions does this ecosystem does? Functions of ecosystem. Right. Now ecosystems perform certain functions. Now what are those functions? Let us see the first one, which is nothing but your energy flow. The first function is energy flow, right? Now what does this energy flow exactly means, right? Now these ecosystems maintain themselves by cycling energy and nutrients obtained from the external sources, right? Now observe here, these ecosystems maintain themselves by cycling energy and nutrients, energy and nutrients obtained from external sources, obtained from external sources. Now how this happens, right? You have to learn about this. Now I will explain this in an schematic diagram, right? Then you can easily observe this. Now already I have explained this previously. Now primary producers, primary producers. Now first I will draw the schematic diagram. Now they obtain energy from the sun, right? Now these are the first trophic levels, right? First trophic levels. Now from this the energy is taken up by primary consumers, now these are second trophic levels, right? Now what you speak it as herbivores, right? Now these are first trophic levels are plants, you can easily say, from primary consumers to secondary consumers, from secondary consumers to tertiary consumers, right? Now see here, this is third trophic level. Now they are called carnivores, already we have discussed this. Now fourth trophic level are tertiary consumers, they are topmost carnivores. Now see here the energy flow, right? Now this is what the energy flow that we are going to explain in functions of ecosystem in different ways, right? Now observe here, first trophic level, primary produce use solar energy to produce organic plant matter, right? Now through photosynthesis, and everybody know this. Now herbivores make up the second trophic level. Now predators that eat herbivores comprise the third trophic level, right? Now organisms that feed at several trophic levels are classified, the highest one are tertiary consumers. Now see here, your secondary consumers and tertiary consumers together are called what? Predators. Now this is what the energy flow that we are going to explain in food chains and also in food webs, right? Now the next one, the next functions of ecosystem. The next function of ecosystem is biogeochemical cycles. Biogeochemical cycles. Biogeochemical cycles. Now this, what are these biogeochemical cycles? They are the pathways, right, for the transport and transformation of matter within biosphere. Now what are these biogeochemical cycles? They are the pathways for the transport and transformation transport and transformation of matter within biosphere. Right, now again, this biogeochemical cycles are divided into two categories. One is gaseous cycles and the next one is sedimentary cycles. Now what are these gaseous cycles? Right, now the main characteristics of these gaseous cycles, they involve transportation of matter through atmosphere. They involve transportation of matter through atmosphere. Done. Now what is sedimentary cycles? Now these cycles are involve transportation of matter through ground to water, right? Ground to water. Now these cycles involve transportation of matter through the ground to water. What does this means? Right, this is nothing but from lithosphere. Now see here, our topics are interconnected. Lithosphere to hydrosphere. Lithosphere to hydrosphere. Now in gaseous cycles we will learn regarding carbon cycles, next one is nitrogen cycle, and the next one is oxygen cycle. Right, now in sedimentary cycles we learn about phosphorus cycles, right, and we learn about sulfur cycles in, right. Now previously we have discussed about water cycle. Now we will discuss about carbon, nitrogen and oxygen cycles in gaseous cycles and phosphorus sulfur cycles in sedimentary cycles. Now how this phosphorus will be transported, how this sulfur is transported, you have to check this. Now already we have seen in detail regarding carbon cycles, right? Now again we will see in depth, right, how the bicarbonates are formed, how to fix this bicarbonates. Now see here, through sedimentary cycles, now we have learned previously about eutrophication, movement of excess nutrients to the water bodies, how this happens, right? So let us discuss in detail regarding this in the next video. Thank you.